Hey everyone, Daniel Webster here from Pocketnow.com, and this is the hardware review of the Sony Ericsson XPERIA Play, and this is the unlocked European version, so it may be a little bit different when it comes out to Verizon and to other carriers in the near future. So let's get started. So some preliminary specs to the XPERIA Play is it's running at a 1 GHz processing speed, and that's using a Qualcomm Snapdragon MSM 8255 processor. We also have a 1 GB ROM with 400 megabytes that are accessible to onboard memory and applications. The dimensions of the Play is 62 millimeters across, 119 millimeters high, and 16 millimeters in depth. So it's a pretty thick device, but it feels pretty good while playing. It feels exactly the same thickness as the PSP Go, so we'll compare that at the end. We also have a 4-inch LCD plastic capacitive multi-touch screen, and this is FWVGA resolution, so that's 480 across by 854 pixels down. So it seems kind of odd that Sony Ericsson would choose to use a plastic coating on a high-end Android device. This is running Android 2.3, and it just seems weird because most high-end Androids are not using a plastic screen because plastic is really prone to scratches, and it doesn't seem as precise when I've been typing on the screen. So on the top, we also have our front-facing camera, our headset speaker, our earphone speaker I should say. We also have our proximity and light sensor underneath this little bar, our Sony Ericsson emblem. On the bottom, we have our back button, our home button, our menu button, and our search button. On the top of the device, we have our power standby button, which also has a little tiny notification LED inside there that I believe turns on when you're charging it. On the bottom, we have our primary microphone. We also have this little tab to remove the battery cover. The XPERIA Play does come in two colors. It comes in this black, which has sort of a blue metallic, and it's very fingerprint prone, as you can see. So it does have this blue metallic. I don't know if you can see that on camera, maybe right there. But and then also it comes in the white, which is similar to this PSP Go. It has also that silvery coating inside of it. So if we go to this side of the device, we have our trigger toggles, our right and left trigger buttons. We also have our volume rocker. On this side, we have our 3.5mm headphone jack and our micro USB 2.0 port. We also have the best speakers I've ever heard on any mobile device. This is true stereo. We have our, let's see, our right and our left speaker right here. It's probably the best sound that I've ever heard from any mobile device. So on the back, we have our secondary speaker, which is good for noise cancellation speakerphone. We have our LED for our 5-megapixel camera, which is also capable of recording up to 720p. We have our Xperia emblem right here and our little Sony Ericsson decal. So we can take off the battery cover. The battery is a 1500 milliamp hour battery, which Sony Ericsson claims to supply enough power for 5.5 hours of gameplay and around 8.5 hours of talk time. We have our micro SD card right here, which is expandable up to 32 gigabytes, and it does come with an 8 gigabyte card pre-installed. So let's see, we have 8 gigabyte, and it comes with a class 2, so not the best. We also have our standard SIM card slot, and we'll just pop this back on. So if we slide open the device, we have our controls for these XPERIA Play games. Unfortunately, the games are a little bit different than they are on the PSP Go. Hopefully, Sony Ericsson decides to launch more games. Right now, there's not very many games. Let's see here. We only have a few that are on this device. It came with 5 games. The controls are really easy to use. The directional pads are a little bit different, and they are not too many games that utilize this right now. Hopefully, in the future, it's optimized for better gameplay. We also have our menu button down here and our select and start button. So all in all, the XPERIA Play is a great device for anyone that wants to play games. We just wish that there were better games available at this time. Hopefully, when the release comes to the States on Verizon, that the games will be better optimized, and hopefully they integrate some of the PSP games. If we compare this to a PSP Go, you can see that the device is very similar in size. Of course, the screen on the XPERIA Play is much better, much higher resolution than it is on the PSP Go. The controls are very similar. We can open this up, and you can see the controls are very similar to one another. The only difference is we have gotten rid of this joystick and replaced it with these directional pads here. So the Xperia Play is a great all-around device. It's nice that it has all the required hardware for Android 2.3, so we have an accelerometer, a digital compass, and assisted GPS. This device also has Wi-Fi, BGNN, Bluetooth 2.1 plus EDR, so it keeps everything connected. It's nice to be able to download games at a Wi-Fi N band opposed to the PSP, which is running at a B band. So if you like our videos, make sure you give us a thumbs up and also leave some comments down below. Stay tuned for the software tour, and if you want to get more information about this device, just follow the link in the description to be directed to Pocketnow's website, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on the Sony Ericsson XPERIA Play and when it comes to the States. Thanks for watching.